let's see what you think of Elizabeth's doll. Elizabeth had a new baby brother named Obadiah. Elizabeth watched Mama take care of him, and she wanted to care for her own baby. She didn't have a doll, so she went outside and picked up a stick. She tried to hug it, but it poked her, and she dropped it on the ground. Then Elizabeth picked up a rock. It was just the right size to hold, and it didn't poke Elizabeth when she hugged it. She kissed the rock and named it Eva. When baby Obadiah had a bath, he splashed and got Mama wet. When Eva had a bath, she behaved very nicely and only splashed a little. Mama fed Obadiah, and he gave a loud burp. Elizabeth fed Eva, but she was too polite to burp. Mama changed the cloth wrapped around Obadiah's bottom, and it was very messy. Elizabeth was very relieved to find that Eva's bottom was still clean. When Mama did her chores, she tied Obadiah onto her back with a bright cloth called a kanga. When Elizabeth did her chores, she also tied Eva onto her back with a kanga. Mama had to help just a little. Elizabeth went to visit her friend, Raheli. Raheli laughed when she saw that Elizabeth had a rock for a doll, but Raheli didn't have a doll either. So when Elizabeth left, Raheli found her own rock and named it Malusi. When Elizabeth got home, it was time for her to get water from the village well. She took Eva out of the kanga and laid her on the ground near some other rocks so she wouldn't be lonely. Then Elizabeth wrapped the kanga into a small bundle, put it on top of her head, and placed the water jug on top of the kanga. This was how she always carried water and other heavy things. Elizabeth soon returned with water and took it to her sister Pendo inside the cooking hut where all the family's meals were made. Then Elizabeth ran outside to go get Eva, but Eva was gone. Elizabeth looked all around, but she couldn't find Eva. Mama found a new rock and gave it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth shook her head when she saw it. That was a rock, just a rock. Pendo also brought Elizabeth a rock, but it wasn't Eva either. Elizabeth was very sad and sat quietly until it was time to help Pendo in the cooking hut. The family had rice for dinner every night, and it was Elizabeth's job to put the pot of rice on the fire pit, which was made of 3 large stones. Elizabeth sadly filled the pot with water and set it on the stones to boil. But one of the stones wasn't a stone at all. It was Eva! Elizabeth called for Mama, and together they moved the pot of water and rolled Eva away from the fire. Although Eva was a bit dirty, she hadn't been hurt. Pedro ran outside to get a new stone for the fire pit, which is just how poor Eva had become lost. Eva sat quietly while Elizabeth cleaned her off and hugged her. At bedtime, Mama sang a lullaby and rocked Obadiah in her arms until he fell asleep. Elizabeth sang a lullaby too, but she fell asleep before Eva did. Mama covered Elizabeth and Eva with a blanket. She smiled and she thought that one day Elizabeth would make a fine mother. Eva thought so too. I hope you liked this story.